Good morning. Oh my god, I cannot believe that December, or the first week of December, is nearly over. I feel really unprepared for Christmas this year. So, and I'm starving. I am going to have some lunch and then I think I'm going to bake some cookies. I'm going to see a friend of mine later and she's been unwell this week, so I think I might take her and her kids some peppermint and chocolate chip cookies. So I think that's probably going to be the focus of today's video. So these are the cookies that I'm going to make. It's the Stonefield recipe and it's a brown sugar Greek yogurt cookie. Now I largely follow this recipe and the directions, but I do make some minor changes which you'll see in a moment. So first, let's go through the ingredients and then you will get to see how I bake in the world's smallest kitchen ever. So, I will list the ingredients below, but you will find this recipe, like I said, on stonyfield.com. So the first thing you're going to need is 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And then you are going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. You're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 1 cup of light brown sugar. I actually prefer the, I think it's called Demerara sugar. You're going to need an egg at room temperature, ideally. You are going to need some Greek yogurt. The recipe calls for 1/3 of Greek yogurt. I'm actually using the Alpro here because I am on a reduced dairy diet at the moment. You're also going to need 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And 1 cup of softened butter. Now this is where the recipe and I differ, because I do probably only 1/2 cup of butter purely because I think it's too much butter, and what I do is I put in more of the yogurt or your yogurt substitute. And as I think I previously mentioned, I am making these as chocolate chip and peppermint. So I am actually going to make several batches of these, but per batch, shall we call it, I use a entire bag of these Super Value dark chocolate chips, and the bag is, what is it? It's a 100-gram bag. These are really nice, the dark, particularly with the peppermint, and I only use about 1 teaspoon of peppermint because it's quite strong. So that's all the ingredients that you're going to need. The first thing you got to do is cream together the butter, brown sugar, and granulated sugar. So for this recipe, in addition to the ingredients, you're going to need 2 mixing bowls. Obviously measures, a couple of spoons to get your things out of their containers or packets, and if you have a food mixer, brilliant. If not, this guy does the job. Whoa! So I'm going to move the camera around and you can watch me put it together in the smallest place possible. So one day I will have this amazing kitchen and I'll be able to do like cooking demonstrations in it if I should choose. But right now, today, all I've got is basically less than a foot. This is pretty much the size of my kitchen. It is tiny, tiny, but I make do and I still produce delicious things. So I'm going to get on with this. The only thing I've really weighed out is my butter, because I needed to soften that. So I'm going to give my hands a wash, and then I'm going to get to weighing out the sugars and the flour and the butter, and I'm going to cream it together. So one of the things that I always have when I'm cooking like this is an empty dishwasher, particularly with a small kitchen, so that once I'm finished with an item, I can immediately put it in there, and it makes things so much easier. So I'm going to need 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. This measure is only 1/2 cup, so I'm going to need 5 and a bit of these. Oh shit. I've made a mistake. I'm not supposed to put the flour in here, but the sugar. I hate when that happens. But I'm going to solve it very easily because I will need the flour very soon. And it's not going to make much of a difference that it's hit some of the butter already. So, don't you just love these things? This often happens to me when I'm making a recipe. I will make a mistake, but such is life. So, I'm going to put the flour over there for the moment. Very good. So 2 spoons. Okay, so I'm going to need cream the butter, which I have, the brown sugar. That's what I needed. The brown sugar is 1 cup, which will be 2 of these guys. I love the smell of brown sugar. For me, it just epitomizes Christmas and Christmas baking, and oh, I love to bake. Baking is like my stress release. Not that I'm terribly stressed right now, but there was a time when Usheen, my brother, used to live with us, and he and James would come home from work, and if they saw I had done a lot of baking, they knew it had been a particularly rough day for me. But now I live a stress-free life. Well, not totally, but you know, more or less, I'm very fortunate. So, granulated sugar, we need 1/2 cup, so just 1 of these guys. Yes, there is a lot of sugar in this, but if you can't at Christmas, when can you? Oh, and I completely make a big mess. Like right to here beside me, there's sugar, there's flour, there's probably a bit of butter as well. Okay, so that's 1/2 cup. And the baking powder. Oh, no. So now what I have to do is cream this together for 3 minutes. Don't worry, I won't make you listen to this. I will turn up the volume and speed it up. So I'm going to put a 3-minute timer on. 2, 3. Oh my god, this smells delicious already. Wow. So I'm just going to grab. The beauty about having a very small kitchen and a very narrow kitchen is that is practically everything is within reach. I'm just going to take this. Oh my god. Like, this is just sugar and butter. This is why I could never be a professional baker or chef. Well, one, I wouldn't be able for the stress of it, but I would just want to eat everything, and I would be like more enormous than I am. Not that I have any problems with my size, people. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is sift the flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder together in a separate bowl. Now what I'm going to do, because obviously, as you saw from my earlier mistake, I am going to take the flour out of this so I can remeasure it to make sure that I have the right amount in there, and it'll also give me the opportunity to sieve it. Now, so I'm just going to grab a sieve, and I'm going to put my sieve over my bowl. I'm going to measure this out. So again, we need 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You're not going to be nice to me and just go in, are you? So we should definitely have half a cup in here. Yeah. So I know this is pretty much half a cup. So bring the flour back. I'll say that's 2. I always take recipe ingredients as more guidelines. So that's 2.5, and then we need 1/4, so half of this. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so that's all the flour we need. Next, because I like to, well, we'll sift this. Ooh, it's like making snow. And because we sifted all that excess butter, let's just get rid of that. Sounds well. Okay, so next we need the salt, the baking soda, and the baking powder. Okay, so salt. Salt is what? We need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So, you know, I'm just gonna eyeball that and say that's about 1/4 of a teaspoon. You know, who's got time for 1/4 teaspoons? Next, we gotta do half a teaspoon of the baking powder. Half a teaspoon, for those who want to know, is 2.5 ml, which is this little orange doobie here. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. This is baking powder. Just checking so that I'm not putting, you know, any more butter where I shouldn't. Okay. Whew, there we go. Wow, that was amazing. Okay, so how much bread soda do we need? We need 1 teaspoon. Okay, this doohickey is out, so I'm just going to use this and cut to it. You know, 1. Yeah, I'm so precise here. 2. Okay. So now what does it say? Oh, we best. There we go. We're all in there. So now we've got to, in a separate bowl, with the mixer set on low, slowly add the flour mixture into the butter mixture about half a cup at a time, letting each pour of flour incorporate fully before the next. Hold on, but oh, we just put this to the side for a moment, for 1 moment. And to this, we also need to add our egg and yogurt. I was wondering about that. So what I'm going to do here is give me a minute. I'm just going to put away some of the ingredients that we've already finished with, so I have a little bit more space. And we'll get to adding the egg and the yogurt to our butter and sugar mixture in a mo. Okay, I'm back. I've just realized how pressurized this cooking to camera stuff actually is. Like, hats off to Nigella and all the rest of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, according to the recipe, is add my egg and my yogurt to the butter and sugar mixture, like I said, and then I've got to beat this for another 2 minutes. So there's my egg. Gone in like so. Ew. Egg juice. Oh yeah. I'm like so professional. I have a tea towel stuffed into the pocket of my apron. Do you like my apron, by the way? It's got like frills and polka dots and it's just like perfection. I have it years. I'm pretty sure I bought it in Dunn's. I've never seen it since, so I'm sorry if you want one. So, like I said before, I actually use more of the yogurt, or in this case, Alpro, the Greek yogurt, input to like balance out the amount of butter I don't use in this. So, I love the smell of this. I mean, these taste deliciously like light and fluffy and such. So the recipe calls for 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt. I probably use just under half of, what's this? This is 500 grams, so I probably use about 250 grams per recipe. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put it in. Yeah, like I told you, I'm a real rogue. I use recipes as guidelines, as you can clearly see. That's probably why I make such a mess of everything. But baking should be fun and enjoyable, and this is what works for me. So I'm going to set my timer for another 2 minutes and beat away. So this looks good. So good. Oh my God. Okay, so before I add in the flour mixture to the, I suppose, let's get technical. Before I add the dry mixture into the wet mixture, I'm gonna put our chocolate chips and our peppermint in here. I am putting 100 grams of these dark chocolate chips. Well, 100 grams less the taste test. I love chocolate. Okay. Woo. One, two. And as I mentioned, the peppermint is pretty strong, so really a teaspoon is more than enough. You want it like present, but not overpowering. Okay, so to add this in, half a cup at a time, but it says just to eyeball it. So, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the soup ladle to put this baby in. And I'm gonna say 1 and a bit soup ladles is about half a cup. And so you're supposed to make sure that this is completely mixed in before you add in the next part. Oh my God, the smell of the peppermint is divine. Absolutely. Okay, so that's pretty much. Ooh, will it stay? That could be a mistake. Okay, I'm gonna say that's all that we're putting in there. So good, guys. Oh my God. Just trying to get it all down off the side. There's mixture everywhere. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay, so the mixture is pretty much mixed in. Technical term. So I'm going to remove my rings because the next part gets super messy. So I'm going to get back out the flour and we're going to roll these babies into inch balls and lay them on a cooking sheet 2 inches apart. And then we are going to cook them for 10 to 12 minutes. The excitement of it. Okay, so I'm going to also do a little cleanup here. So I will be back with you momentarily. So, I thought I was recording. I was not. So I've got my cookie sheet, cookie liner from IKEA, flour, mixture. And as you can see, I've already started, ooh, this one didn't go so well, to roll approximately 1 inch balls together. Because this mixture is very wet, it's advisable to use loads of flour, otherwise everything would stick to you and everything else. So, I'm just gonna get to rolling till all of this is basically in balls. I'll probably have to bake in 2 batches, which is fine. So here's a better look at them. They're not perfect inch balls at all, but they will expand out. I've got 12 here on the sheet, and I reckon based on the mixture left, I'll probably get another 9 to 12, I think, which is perfect for what I want. This is just one batch, as in one round of the ingredients. I had planned to make 2, but this is probably going to be good enough for me. So, I'm gonna stick them in the oven for about, let's do 10 and then see how they are. So yeah, so I am going to clean up and get out the cooling racks and wait to taste these babies. Oh my god. The worst part about baking is having to wait for them to cool down so you can eat them. So my timer has just gone off. Let's take a look. Ooh, can you see those? I wish you could smell them. They smell good. They look good too, but they are a little bit soft. So I'm gonna give them, I'm gonna say 3 more minutes. They smelled so good. Here we go. Hopefully this is them. Ooh, let the steam go. I'm kind of wondering if I should give them a minute. Do you know what? I'm just gonna do 1 more minute. They do seem rather done, but oh, that's 2. But they're just a teensy weensy bit soft. So yeah, 1 more minute should do it. Here we go. Again, 3rd time lucky. Oh yeah, I think these are, it's like that sweet spot of being utterly done and not burnt. So we're gonna leave them on the tray to cool for a minute, and then we're gonna transfer them over to the cooling rack using my handy dandy fish slice. And then I'm just gonna repeat, rinse and repeat. So now I'm just gonna transfer them across very carefully. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I'm now just gonna rinse and repeat. The second batch have just come out of the oven, and as you can see, I actually got 3 more, so I now have 15 in this batch. I'm gonna let them cool for a minute, and they will join their brothers and sisters over there. But Sasha's getting ready for her walk. Where are you, Sasha? Oh, are you ready for your walk? Yeah? Good girl. She is just mad to get going. Can't even hold the camera straight. So, no. Come back this way. Come back this way. This way. Go. There's a tree. There we go. She's so excited to be out. Oh my god, I better put this camera away before I drop it. She's literally pulling the arm off me. We're just in from our walk. Oh my god, she ran around. We basically did like, I suppose like a block or a circle. whatever way you want to look at it. Look at my hair, it's crazy. But she enjoyed it and she met some of her doggy friends, so she was delighted. Weren't you, darling? And I am gonna have a coffee and do a taste test on our cookies. So excited. The house smells like a bakery. When I walked back into it, it smells delicious. So I was thinking about this walking around on our walk. I think I'm gonna have the gingerbread coffee, even though the gingerbread and the peppermint, ooh, sorry, I'm standing right under a light, might be a bit much, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. Ooh, are you okay? Little dirty paws. Okay, I am gonna get her cleaned up and sit down and relax for a minute or two. So I have you propped up in my teacup cupboard just so that I can put you somewhere so I can taste test. I'm just gonna have some coffee. I love that gingerbread coffee from Lidl. It is so good. Okay. Oh, they smell divine. They obviously, you put them in bowls, but they come out slightly flat. So good. But yeah. Oh my god. Oh, it's a good cookie. It's crunchy, it's soft, it's flavorful. I'm going to enjoy these. Pause for thumbnail. I've already bagged up. Well, I say bagged up, let me show you what I did. So, these are the cookies, already in a nice little Christmas bag. I got these in Home Store and More last year. They were like €2 for a pack of them. Here's my little snack, and I put ours in here as well. But I bagged Olivia's up because if I didn't, I'd probably eat them before they got to her. I'm not going to hers for another few hours. So I'm actually going to edit this vlog now, or this cooking fail, have some dinner and head over to her then. So I hope you enjoyed it, the sort of attempt at baking cookies, which turned out wonderful in the end. I will do my best to link the recipe in the description box below, and I'll also put in the sort of minor changes that I do anyway. And sure, if you have any questions on it, just let me know in the comments below. But I hope you enjoyed this day. I am very excited for, oh, I'm doing it tomorrow, so you'll see it Sunday. But yeah, very excited for what's coming up in my life tomorrow. Bye.